Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 14 of Popcorn Problems. My name is Elon Pressman, and I'm here with my very good friend and fellow co-host,
Nicholas Sapasco. Every week, we'll make sure you're caught up with the biggest news and movies in Hollywood.
This week, we're reviewing The Running Man, one of last weekend's biggest new releases. But before we get to that, what's poppin'? Where we run through the biggest movie stories this week. What's up, guys? Welcome to a new episode. Before we get started, I just want to take a second and wish my good friend Nick a happy birthday.
Oh.
It was his birthday this past weekend. So let's all give him a quick round of applause.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. I didn't expect
Yes,
that.
of course. How was your birthday? How'd you celebrate? What'd you do?
It was chill, man. I just stayed at home and watched a movie with my girlfriend. We were just chill the whole time, which is exactly how I wanted it to be. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Nothing crazy.
Very nice.
Yes,
Very
sir.
cool.
Yes, sir.
Very cool.
Thank you.
All right, so let's start with the box office like we always do. At number one this week was Now You See Me, Now You Don't. It opened to $21.3 million domestically, 75.5 global. And I believe it's still the smallest opening of the franchise. But it's still not too bad of an opening at all. At number two is The Running Man at $17 million domestically, $28.2 million globally, and $110 million budget. And then I do want to mention that 35 of its international markets, it hasn't opened yet in those markets. So it's only in 65% of where it's going to be playing. So it still has a chance to be making money, but it's not like where it should be.
Is there a reason for that?
For why it hasn't opened yet?
Yeah, like fully.
I have no idea. I just think it just
No.
hasn't released in those I hear it says that it still needs to open in China, Korea, Brazil. Those are just a few of the markets that it still needs to open in.
Interesting.
Yeah, and number three is Predator Badlands. In its second week, it pulled in $13 million domestically, which is a 68% drop. It already surpassed its budget. It's at 136.3 million global. And I believe so far it is the best in the franchise behind Alien versus Predator, which is like a big crossover movie. And I'm pretty sure by the end of its run, it probably should surpass that one. So that's pretty cool. The only other thing I kind of want to note on the box office is the new Osgood Perkins movie. That one opened at 6 to 2.5 million domestic on a $6 million budget.
All right. I haven't heard great things about. I haven't seen it. I haven't heard great things about it either, though. So
Yeah, I've heard it's not too good. So we'll see. I haven't seen it either, but I really want to. This weekend, total, it brought in $75.2 million. And it's up 7.1% from this time last year, which is pretty cool. Now, let's get into some news from the week. This wasn't really I wouldn't really consider this a news-filled week. I would say this is more of a trailery week, but there's still some things I want to talk about. The first thing before we get into the trailers, I kind of want to quickly go over is just some superhero updates. One literally came from this morning. Did you see that Sadie Sink is confirmed for Secret Wars?
really, for Secret Wars? Wait,
Which-
for Secret Wars?
Yes, this morning.
Whoa.
yeah.
Okay. I did
It's
not see that. I did
it's
not
not
see
like
that.
officially confirmed, but like one of like the Hollywood Reporter, one of those websites, like
I
reported
see.
it.
Okay. Like they leaked it. Okay, sure. That's crazy. Okay, fuck. So then,
Which
I mean, shit.
that is surprising. I gotta say, I did not see that coming.
No, for real, definitely not. I mean, like, does that mean? Well, it can mean a few things. That can mean because who is she? She's probably gonna be like what? Gwen, not Gwen. Mary. No, we already have MJ.
No, that's the thing. We don't know. Like, it was rumored that she was like this. I saw the last thing I saw that I was pretty sure it was gonna be is this like character that's associated with Punisher. It's like Lady Punisher. But I don't see how that would tie into Secret Wars. So now I saw people theorizing that she's Firestar. I really don't know. I'm really curious.
Do you think she could be shit? No, I don't think they would do this. But do you think she could be like a new Jean Grey?
It's not out of the realm of possibility. I don't see how that could tie into a Spider-Man story.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like,
But I don't know. I was really sure that she was gonna be playing like that Lady Punisher character, like I mentioned. But now I just don't see how that could tie into Secret Wars. So
I mean, all this is telling us is that like Secret Wars also Spider-Man is gonna have a big role to play in Secret Wars, which would make sense.
Yeah. And by the way, apparently we should be getting our first trailer. I mean, in a month, within the next month, we should be getting our first trailer for Avengers Doomsday, which is crazy.
Really interesting.
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll see if that actually happens.
It's supposed to play attached to Avatar 3.
Avatar, makes sense.
So currently, the date that I saw online was December 8th. Okay. I don't know if that's true, but that's the current thing to, I guess, look forward to. Another thing that was reported on this week is that we have our villain for Man of Tomorrow, and it's Brainiac, which, I mean, I'm pretty sure most people knew, or not knew, but theorized that Brainiac was going to be the villain, but now it's officially confirmed that Brainiac is our villain for Man of Tomorrow, and it's going to be the reason that Lex and Superman have to team up.
Who confirmed this? I didn't see this. That's crazy.
So it was confirmed by The Hollywood Reporter, and James Gunn did not deny it. And whenever something's wrong, he always does deny it. So,
yeah. That's crazy. Holy cow. I didn't see that. That's insane. Well, I'm hype. Brainiac is one of my favorite villains of, like, all time. Just in general, not even just Superman, in general.
I think he's definitely the most iconic Superman villain to not be in live action yet, or at least not in a movie live action yet. So it's been a long time coming, and yeah, I'm really excited. I think that movie is going to be something special. Also, I saw that they're like they started casting. They're looking for like a tall woman with like an athletic warrior build. So Wonder Woman, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense. Wonder Woman. Yeah, that could really only be Wonder Woman. Let's be real. I don't know. Maybe like. I'm trying to think of like other female Justice League members that like have that same sort of description, but nobody else.
Like
really rings the bell.
I can't think of anyone off the top of my head.
No one that hasn't already been seen, like for example, like Hawk Girl or something like that.
Specifically, like the warrior comment, like in the description, like warrior build. I feel like that's such an obvious like.
Yeah, that's a dead giveaway.
Yeah. So I think that's really cool. I think that movie is gonna be something like really special.
Oh, for sure.
I'm really excited for that movie. So that's that. We had a few trailers this week. So let's start with the Mario Galaxy trailer. I have to say, I am really pleasantly surprised, to be honest. I think that shit looks gas. I'm not gonna lie. I think it looks really good. And I really like Bowser Jr., and I think Benny Safdie is a really good choice to play him.
Benny Safdie is a weird choice. I didn't mind his performance in the trailer there. I was like, okay, I can see how this works. I can see why they picked him. You know what I mean? Because he's not like a big name that like is gonna bring in people or anything like that. So like they obviously picked him out of like some sort of quality of his performance.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I don't know. I think it looks. I mean, the first one looked really good, but this one, like animation wise, but I think it looks really nice. I think the first one played it a little safe, but I did enjoy the first one. So I am pretty excited, honestly, for the sequel. And I think the Prowler sound effect is pretty funny too.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I would agree. Like the first one did play it pretty safe, which is also why I'm excited for this one, just because like, you know, they've already established this world, so like let's really stretch the limits of what we can do here. And I don't know. I'm kind of like half and half on this trailer. I very much liked it. I thought it was funny. I thought it was gorgeous. I thought like, you know, all of the characters like seemed pretty fun. The only one I don't really like is Chris Pratt, but there's nothing we can do about that anymore.
Yeah, he's not getting recast.
All, really. He's not getting recast, bro. Bro just lacks whimsy. Like I said this on my Twitter too. Like, bro just does not know how to be like fun in a weird way. I don't know if that makes sense, but
he's just too much of a serious movie star. I feel like he's just too.
Yeah, for real.
He's just too Chris Pratt. I don't know. I saw the trailer of like that January movie that he's in, like the AI one.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
that shit looks awful. That shit looks terrible. But it's like it made me realize how hit or miss he really is as an actor. Because like
hmm
in the right project, he's so good, but then sometimes he's so like Chris Pratt. I don't even know how to explain it. Like
No, I get it. Like I feel like he's kind of like he's your stand-in action hero white man kind of.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
and honestly, like we've had an abundance of those lately. Like I want to say like maybe like Glenn Powell and like I wouldn't say Jake Elordi's like an action hero because he's not. But we've had a good amount of those lately, especially like younger actors. And Chris Pratt is like has all this baggage attached with him too, with like his I think his like wife is like associated with like the government or something like that. I don't know, something like that. And then like his also like
He's married to a Schwarzenegger.
oh, okay, yeah, there you go. And I think one of I think it was like one of the Schwarzenegger's like cousins or uh like late or like distant relatives has like some sort of association with the president or something like that. Because I know he spoke on that. He was like, oh, if you associate yourself with these people, then like yeah, you're gonna get flack for it or something like that. I don't know. I don't really remember.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't really know specifically about that. All I know is that he's like in with the Schwarzeneggers.
yeah.
Um, that's low-key all I know about that. I don't really know much more about
Also,
that.
also I know he's like very like pro Christian, which I don't really care for. I mean about, but I just know a lot of people like find that baggage and like he was called out for like other things. I don't know. I honestly don't give a fuck. My only thing was like yeah, his name has baggage now because of all of these things, and he's also not particularly like talented as an actor. Like he's not,
I would say
he's
he's a
not
good
giving out Oscar.
actor. I wouldn't say he's a good voice actor. Like I wouldn't say he's talented as a voice actor.
I would say he's like a good actor. He's not a great actor though. Like
Yeah,
nobody's like looking for him for like an Oscar worthy performance or anything like that. Like just putting it in layman's terms or something like that.
yeah, yeah.
He's just like yeah, he's like a stand-in for an action hero that you need. And we're having a lot of those lately, especially with the movie that we're going to talk about this week. So and he's getting older, so he's kind of falling on the wayside unfortunately.
Yeah, he's got to squeeze out a few Star-Lord projects, get his bag before it's too late.
Real. But going back to Super Mario, I'm excited to see what they do with expanding the world and like some of these new environments look crazy, especially like that one shot of them riding the bike like on the motorcycles. Bro, that shit looks so good.
Yeah, the movie looks beautiful. The movie looks gorgeous.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
And I think the Galaxy aesthetic was a really cool place to take it. Oh, and Rosalina casting is great. I don't particularly like Brie
For sure.
Larson, but I think she's a good casting.
Yeah, I'm just excited to see like how enthusiastic she is because like she's like been a big Mario fan for like a while before.
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. This is like I saw somebody on Twitter saying this is like equivalent to like Ariana Grande getting cast as Glinda.
Pretty much. So like yeah, I just I really want to see
So,
that performance
pretty
shine through in the
interesting.
movie.
I don't know. I think this movie comes out in April, so it's honestly pretty soon,
Mhm.
and I'm pretty excited for it.
Yeah,
I think the first one made $1 billion. I'm sure this one will be just as successful, if not more.
yeah.
I'm
It's
excited.
yeah, it's gonna be great. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Fuck.
So
Can you hear me?
the next
Shit.
movie that
Yo. Can you hear me? Yo. Ugh, fuck.
hello.
Yo, can you hear me
Greetings
now?
and salutations, fine shit.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear? Oh my god. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Yo,
Yo, yo. Greetings
can
and
you hear me?
salutations.
Fuck. Wait. Oh wait. Yo, greetings and salutations, homie. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. You good?
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
I just I don't know what happened, but whatever.
It's fine.
Let's keep going.
All right, I'm gonna hop back in. All right, so
All right.
that brings us to the end of the Mario Galaxy trailer. The next trailer that I want to talk about quickly is the Toy Story 5. We got our 1st teaser for it, and yeah, it looks like Toy Story 5. Can't really. There's not much to really say about it. We get our first look at. It's not our first look. I think we got a picture of it before, but now we get more of like an idea of the villain, which is going to be like an iPad voiced by Greta Lee. And yeah, it looks fine. I'm curious how they're going to explain that Woody and Buzz are back, or Woody's back. I don't really remember who left who at the end of Toy Story 4, but
Yeah.
I don't know. 3 was such a good ending. I didn't really like 4, so I'm very curious to see if this is going to be worth our time or not. I
Let's
kinda
be
doubt
real.
it
It
will
probably
be.
isn't.
Yeah,
Yeah, it probably isn't. I'm not particularly excited for this movie either. It looks fine. The trailer looks fine. You know, I guess it's kind of cool to see like these characters, you know, back in motion again or whatever. But yeah, I don't really care either. I heard a theory online that the new threat. I mean, the iPad is the villain, but like the threat is gonna be like that that the iPad is gonna like record the toys when they're alive. So
Okay, that'll be
like,
interesting. That's something.
yeah, if that's real, that could be interesting. I could see how that could like actually be something. I don't know if they'd go that direction. It's just a theory, a game theory.
Interesting.
Yeah, who knows? Other than that, I have no clue or really interest. I'm still gonna watch it because whatever, but yeah, I have no interest in seeing wherever this franchise keeps going because they're probably gonna make more after this if it makes money.
Pretty much, yeah. And then the next trailer, the last trailer I want to talk about for this week was the Moana live action trailer. And fuck, I hate to fucking say it, but this shit looks really good.
You think so?
I think this trailer, it did exactly what it needed to do. I think it looks great. I think it looks stunning. Like, I think it looked really beautiful. And I guess that's all that these live action movies need to kind of accomplish because they're already taking a good story for the most part. They have that, so all they need to do is make it look good. And that's something I think that Snow White really failed at. I think that movie was
True.
really ugly. I thought the trailers were ugly. I thought the movie was even uglier. And this, I feel like this trailer didn't have that problem. I think it looks great. Sure, it does kind of look like if you just asked like AI to create a live action version of the original, but I guess that's just kind of like to give credit to the director that it looks really fucking accurate. It looks really good. I don't know. What do you think of the trailer?
So I want to ask you something real quick. So is that really kind of like what you look for with these like live action remakes? It's just like as long as it looks like pretty and obviously like realistic and real.
Well, because
I know you like How to Train Your Dragon too as well.
The point of these live action remakes isn't to like create a good movie. I mean, obviously it's to create a good movie, but it's like you have a good movie already. For me, it's just to like present that movie in a different medium. And so for me, all these live action remakes are just kind of like, I hate to say like software updates, but like
LMAO, I can see it. I can see it.
They're just kind of like a PS4 to PS5 type of upgrade. You know what I'm talking about? It's like the same for the most part, because none of these movies ever change the story, or when they do, they don't do it well.
Yeah.
And I mean, this movie looks genuinely like a shot for shot remake of the original, and so it looks like it's doing that successfully. So we're gonna have to see the rest. We haven't even seen what. We only see the back of like Dwayne Johnson, so we don't really know what his Maui looks like fully yet. And I'm curious what Tamatoa, like the big crab, is gonna look like. So there's still a few other things that we need to see before we cast our judgment on this movie. But I don't know. I think it looks pretty good. So
yeah,
what do you think?
I mean, for me, like I saw the trailer. It looks pretty. It looks all right. There are some shots here and there where I'm like, ooh, that's obviously green screen. Where like it's, for example, the girl surrounded by like a bunch of water and everything, like with the girl in the middle.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, ooh, it's green screen. And so like on that front, it kind of loses it for me. Where it's like, if the point is for it to be pretty, I don't know if I can still like see the cracks between. Even on like a shitty like fucking iPhone that like whatever I'm watching it on, if I can still see the cracks between it, then I'm like, what's the point?
That is true.
I still like I don't know. I don't see any. I inherently just like by definition of these movies existing, I don't like it. I don't like any of it. I think we should have stopped whichever the first one was. I don't care. But whatever. If these movies are here, if we're accepting them
I think
as
it was Jungle Book.
I think it was Jungle. Yeah, I think you might be right. Or yeah, I think you're right on that. If these movies exist, then what as well? Then we'll accept them, and then we'll judge them on those levels of like, okay, realism, matching to the story, what it actually adds, what it takes away. And like you said, we haven't seen the movie, we haven't seen the actual movie yet, so we don't know entirely like what it's going to look like. But just from the trailer, there are like maybe a few shots here and there where I'm like, oh, okay, that could be like something interesting, like the boats, all the boats with like the yellow with the blue lights coming through them. I don't know if you remember that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like there's that one shot of the beetle turning into like another thing and then turning into Dwayne Johnson with the hook. I was like, okay, that could be like a cool thing. But other than that, I don't really care. I don't really care. I'm not. Matter of fact, I feel more negative about it. It's not that I don't care. I actually despise that these movies exist. And yeah, I don't know. I think I'm not really impressed with like the new Moana either. Again, it's only like a face and like one little bit of a song, so it's like I haven't seen anything. But I'm not even that big of a fan of like Moana the animated movie. It's like I kind of don't care about it either. It was all right when I watched it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed some of the songs. But I feel like this movie really only exists at the push of Dwayne Johnson and his, like, ego, essentially.
Oh, yeah. Well, this I feel like this only happened because of Black Adam's failure.
Absolutely.
I feel like this only got announced after Black Adam kind of flopped. And then he came crawling back to Fast and Furious. And, you know, he made a sequel to Moana. There's a third one already in development, so...
Exactly. So, like, I'm not... It just kind of feels like that. It feels like an obvious, like, ego project and, like, nothing more. And that's probably as much as we're going to get from it, too. Because I think he's... Actually, I don't want to say anything that isn't true. I was going to... No, whatever.
I saw...
But yeah, I just... Sorry, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say that I saw this, like, tweet that the reason why... somebody theorized that the reason why we don't see... like Dwayne Johnson's face, like we don't get a full reveal of him in the trailer, is because he expected to be campaigning for Best Actor right now, so he didn't want this to like overshadow his performance in the Smashing Machine, so he just negotiated with Disney just to not show his face and have it be like a teaser, and then they just didn't change it until by the time that they released it, so I think that's pretty funny.
That's hilarious, genuinely. I'm not surprised at all. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's how I feel about the movie. I'm still probably gonna watch it, or at least I'll try to watch it by less legal means, so I don't have to necessarily support it. But you know, it's all right. Also, he's producing it as well.
$5 million to Disney.
Another $5 trillion to Disney. We'll make more live action. We need Robin Hood. We need let's make another Aladdin, bro. You know what? Let's just you know the ones that already exist. Let's just do them all over again. Why not? Let's just keep doing
they can remake the remakes.
They can remake the remakes, and then eventually all Disney movies.
Potential.
I'm telling you, bro. All Disney movies can just become a gray puddle of sludge, and then we'll watch it. It'll be 2 hours and 30 minutes long, and we'll all give it money.
Yeah,
it'll be great.
Yeah.
It'll be great, bro.
So yeah, we're almost done with what's poppin'. The last few things I want to mention is we did get the first set photos of Zelda. There's not much to talk about there. I think it looks fine. What's it called? I wish they gave him his little hat. He doesn't have his hat in the photos. That's kind of the main takeaway I got from that.
I will say, and I agree with this take, have you seen the Smosh parody video of Legend of Zelda? where it's like it's a rap
like
song.
like maybe years ago, somewhere in the back of my brain. I don't know.
I will say, as soon as I saw the set photos, I thought of that immediately, and it looks quite similar. None of these photos are like really impressing me either. I'm a big Legend of Zelda fan, big fan.
Mm-hmm.
So when this movie got announced, I fell on my knees in the Walmart parking lot because it was live action. I was really hoping and expecting and praying and wishing for an animated movie. We didn't get that.
I thought
That's
we were gonna
okay.
get a Nintendo animated universe after the whole
Me too.
Mario thing. Like that
Me
is
too.
what would make sense, and then have a Smash
would
Bros.
make
Movie.
sense,
That would be fucking awesome.
I mean, okay, so there are like theories going around that like after Mario Galaxy, they're gonna get like they're making a trilogy that'll eventually like lead to a cinematic universe that'll eventually lead to Smash Brothers. Because like I think there's also theories going around of like a Metroid movie, and also Nintendo did I want to say like a month ago or like maybe a few weeks ago, they released like this animated video of like Pikmin
Yeah, I
going
know,
like
like the
Pikmin just like messing around.
yeah, the baby thing.
Yeah, the baby thing. And essentially, to my understanding, that's not like a trailer or anything. To my understanding, what that is, it's like a what is it
Proof of
called?
concept.
It's a proof of concept, not for a Pikmin movie, although I could see that happening, but more for Nintendo's new animation studio, which is the company that made that Pikmin show video. So I think if that was kind of a test for that. So if this proves successful, if that proves successful, they could just continue to make their own whatever with that animation studio, and I think that could be a really interesting future, not necessarily being tied to Illumination. Because I mean, and I don't really have a problem with Illumination either. I think that what they're doing with Mario is pretty good, at least on the animation front. But there's a future. There's definitely a future for Nintendo movies, whether live action or animated, and I'm hopeful for it. But this Legend of Zelda movie is just one big speed bump above everything that in my heart of hearts, as much as I pray and want it to be good, I know I just feel like it won't ever reach my expectations of what it could be.
We just need to see more of it. We just need to see more of it before we
Absolutely
pass our judgments. Yeah.
There was this animated video like years ago of a proof of concept for a Legend of Zelda like CG movie. It looks gorgeous. It's divine. It came out. Oh my god! I recommend everyone look it up. Like Legend of Zelda proof of concept animation movie. It's insane. But because at the time Nintendo was very anti-movie after Super Mario Brothers from the 80s and everything, it didn't get done, unfortunately. And now we got this. So we'll see. We'll see what goes around.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
The last piece of news I want to talk about is that Ryan Coogler confirmed that Black Panther 3 is officially his next film and is already in active development. So
nice, very happy about that.
Yeah. Okay. So let's move into what we watched. Do you want to start us off this week? What did you watch this week, Nick?
Sure. I didn't watch it. I only watched one thing. The SpongeBob SquarePants movie.
The original.
Big fan.
Which one?
Yeah, the original,
Nice,
the one from 2004.
Awesome.
Yeah, big. I mean, I'm a big SpongeBob fan. I just wanted to watch that on my birthday because it's I don't know, one of my favorite movies, I guess. And yeah, it's a perfect movie. Like genuinely, I feel like you have to be a SpongeBob fan to kind of like properly enjoy it.
I don't think so. I think anyone can enjoy it.
I mean, I think anyone can enjoy it, but I don't know. It's kind of a. There's a lot of people where they're just like, I don't know. It's just the humor of SpongeBob is like very childish, very silly.
That is true.
And I feel like a lot of people, especially if they're not really like into animated movies like that, or like into that kind of like that side of like whimsical sort of like humor, then it would like SpongeBob would just be like too much for them. I know, for example, like my parents, like they don't really care for SpongeBob, just because it's like a lot of. It's very overwhelming, I guess, quote unquote. But on the basis of the movie being the movie, it's a perfect film. It's a perfect film, and I really do believe that if you're in the right mood for it, if you know what you're getting into, if you know that it's just like silly, stupid, then it's perfect and you'll love it. And yeah, I don't know. I just love it. I don't really have any like really deeper thoughts about it. It's just
Hmm.
I grew up with SpongeBob. I love SpongeBob. I strive to be like SpongeBob, and yeah, I don't know. It's a perfect movie. It's a perfect
Cool.
movie to me, and it always will
Cool.
be.
Awesome. Yeah, that
How
movie is a
about you? What did
classic. I
you?
haven't seen it in a while, but I mean, I've seen it
You
so
should
many
give it a
times when I was
rewatch.
younger. Yeah, I should rewatch it.
You should give it a rewatch.
So this week I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty busy with movies. I've seen like
Mm-hmm.
a lot, low-key like one a day, but I'm only gonna talk about
Damn.
three of them, which I feel were worth. I don't know about worth mentioning, but just three that I want to talk about. The first one I kind of want to quickly mention and get out the way is I ended up watching Frankenstein. A few weeks ago, I mentioned on the pod that I had tickets to go see it in theaters. I got
Mm-hmm.
sick that day and I didn't end up going. So I waited for it to come on Netflix, and I started the day it dropped, like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, and I've just been slowly making my way through it. I thought this movie was a bore. I don't think it looked particularly too good. There's some shots that looked really nice, but I just think it kind of looked dirty. Not dirty, but like I don't even know how to explain it. Like it just kind of looked funky, in my opinion. Like not the way I would enjoy a Frankenstein movie.
Mm-hmm.
And especially after after like watching the Bride trailer a few times in theaters, like the Maggie Gyllenhaal one that comes out next
Yeah.
year. Like that's a lot
Mm-hmm.
more of like my vibe of Frankenstein. Um, so I'm excited for that one. But yeah, I don't know. I think this movie was just a little bit. It was boring. It was a little bit. It was slow. It was a little bit long for my taste, and it took me like five different sit throughs to get through it. Like I would watch in like 30-minute increments, and
That's crazy. Like, would you just like switch to something else or like fall asleep or some shit like that?
I'd just get bored and just do something else. Yeah, and just be
That's
like,
wild.
I'm not trying to watch this right now. Yeah. My one big takeaway from this movie, though, and fuck, I'm just gonna say it. I think Jacob Elordi should be the DCU Batman.
Yo, I was literally thinking that this week too. I was like, I would not be surprised if they offered him the role, and I wouldn't mind it either. He has
No.
the build, he has the
He has the
face.
build, and he's low-key a good actor. Like, this
Yeah,
movie is showing me, like, that was my takeaway. He low-key has a sauce. Like, I really like Jacob Elordi, and I wouldn't, and I saw somebody say Oscar Isaac should play, what's it called? His dad, well, fuck, what's the dad's name? Fuck. Why don't I remember this? Something Wayne. Thomas Wayne. Thomas Wayne.
yeah, Thomas. Yeah,
He should play Thomas Wayne, and then somebody did like an edit of like their faces like side by side, and like they look like they're actually related. It's crazy. Like that was my main takeaway from watching Frankenstein is that should be
that's
the DCU
crazy.
Batman. But yeah,
I can see that 100%.
like it's definitely worth watching, I guess, because people seem to like it. So I'm clearly in the not the majority on this, but I don't know, just wasn't my type of movie. The next thing I want to talk about is Christie, the Sydney Sweeney biopic. I'm just gonna kind of be quick on this one. It was fine. I think in the hands of a more talented director and in the hands of a more talented actress, I think this movie could have actually been something really special. I think just because I wasn't familiar with the story of Christy Martin before the film, and then watching it, like she has a really impactful story, which I don't think was highlighted enough. I feel like, and yeah, it was just your normal by the numbers biopic, which I'm really, really, really tired of, and honestly, yeah.
Oh, what I mean, I don't know anything. So what is about her? I do know like something happened. Like her husband tried like doing something like killing her. I believe or something like that.
Yeah, so she like she like kind of popularized the sport of female boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then she like married her coach, who was like physically abusive. And then she was like a closeted lesbian, or
Okay.
maybe she was bisexual. I don't know, but she like was into girls, and then obviously her husband didn't like that. And then after a while, she tried to leave her, or she tried to leave him. Sorry, and then he like stabbed her and then shot her.
Okay, yeah, because that was my question. Like, what about her life story is like really significant like that? Okay, cool. Whatever. All right. You said you didn't you said you didn't really like it, right?
It was fine. I just like I said, I think in the hands of a more talented director and a more talented main actress,
Mm-hmm.
I think it could have been something special. But I think in its current state, it's just fine. And like I said, I'm kind of tired of the biopics. So since there's nothing really special here, I don't see myself ever revisiting it.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I just don't see any reason to watch this compared to any of the other movies out right now. And then the last thing I want to mention that I watched this week was I ended up watching Now You See Me 3. For context, I've seen the first one and maybe part of the second one, but I don't know about that. I don't really remember much about it. I'm not a crazy big fan of the franchise, but this third one was really fun and kind of, I think I liked it more than the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's mostly because of the new cast. It introduces three like of the younger actors. It's Ariana Greenblatt, Dominic Sessa, and Justice Smith. And yeah, I mean, it was a fun movie. I think the visual effects were really good. You know, the cast is fun. The new cast is really good. I really like Dominic Sessa. He's from The Holdovers.
Yeah.
He was the standout of the movie to me, and just like he was the standout of The Holdovers, I really like him. I'm really excited to see where his career is gonna go. If you just want a fun time at the movies, just watching some magic tricks, you know, this is definitely, not a bad time, not a bad way to spend your time. Um, just don't be expecting anything crazy, and you won't be disappointed, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just surprised that they brought this franchise back in general.
Yeah, it's been a while since the last one too,
Mhm.
so
Yeah, I mean, I saw the first one ages ago, when it came out. I liked it a lot as a kid. I remember seeing the second one. I don't remember anything about the second one. Um, yeah, I don't remember anything about it, and I'm excited to watch this one. I haven't got around to it, but I think it looks interesting. It looks fun, and I do like the new cast. Like genuinely, like pick three of
yeah,
the
they were the standout of the film. So
for sure. Like pick three young
I would
actors
I would
from
definitely say
Hollywood.
watch it for them.
Pick three young actors from Hollywood that look like mildly interesting. They pick them, and they put them all in a movie, and I'm like, yeah, for sure, let's go for it.
Yeah, it was just a fun time at the movies. I wasn't bored. It wasn't too long. It did its job. It didn't overstay its welcome.
Nice, nice, nice.
Yeah. So you have nothing else to talk about,
Yeah,
right?
no,
You
I,
really have that one thing?
other than our main movie of the event of the night, no, nothing else.
All right, so let's move into the main feature, The Running Man. I'm going to start with a quick spoiler-free summary. In the near future, The Running Man is a top-rated show on television, a deadly competition where contestants must survive 30 days while being hunted by professional assassins. Desperate for money to save his sick daughter, Ben Richards is convinced by the show's ruthless producer to enter the game as a last resort. Ratings soon skyrocket as Ben's defiance, instincts, and grit turn him into an unexpected fan favorite, as well as a threat to the entire system. Nick, what did you think of Edgar Wright's The Running Man?
I'm honestly disappointed that don't I don't like it more than I wanted to. Like, it was okay. I wasn't expecting more, because it's like I wasn't expecting like anything like crazy, Kino level quality or anything, but I was expecting a little bit more sensibility in its, I guess, action. And I feel like after a while, it all just kind of became really loud and explodey, and everyone was screaming, and it just became kind of senseless. And it also kept repeating its main message over and over again to a point where, like, and it's not saying anything new with it either. So I'm just like, it's all right. It's all right. It's honestly all right. Nothing too crazy. I disliked it more than I liked it, but there are still parts that I like a significant amount about it. But that's pretty much it when it comes to me. What about you?
So for context, I was really excited for this one, and I hate to report that, yeah, I'm slightly disappointed. I think the movie starts off really, really strongly.
Yeah.
I think the first half is really good. But I feel like it really falls off the second half.
Yeah.
and it kind of just starts to make no sense and like doesn't justify the fact that it keeps going. I think I don't know. It's a little hard for me to believe that Edgar Wright directed this movie just because normally he's such a creative and flashy director that always makes such interesting like directorial decisions, and I feel like this movie is kind of lacking that.
I was gonna
I think
say
like, it was kind of
Yeah, I was gonna say
But
like I really feel like his style isn't really present in this film, other than like maybe
yeah,
like
it really
the wacky
didn't
characters. But then like
come through. It really didn't come through, and that's honestly a little disappointing because, like I said, he has such a. You watch a movie like Scott Pilgrim, and that movie's filled with so much personality and director flair, and I don't know, like I feel like the trailers advertised flair, but I feel like it didn't really come through in the movie, and it's so message heavy.
Have you
I mean,
seen
this.
Sorry.
Sorry?
Have you seen Last Night in Soho?
No, I haven't.
I feel like a lot of has the only Edgar Wright movie you've seen be Scott Pilgrim?
I've seen Scott Pilgrim. I've seen Baby Driver.
Okay.
What are other Edgar Wright movies?
The Cornetto trilogy, the cops and the zombies. I forgot what it's called. I think it's like
Shaun of the Dead. No,
Yeah,
I
Shaun
didn't
of the
see that
Dead.
one. I think I might just be Baby Driver and Edgar Wright, but I've seen like clips from his other movies,
Okay.
and so I know his. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was gonna say like a lot of the style. I feel like a lot of the style that I know Edgar Wright for is also just because like my first movie of his was like Scott Pilgrim, and I did watch Last Night in Soho as well, like years ago. I didn't love it. I thought it was okay. But regardless, I still thought that movie had a lot more style than Running Man. Had a lot more of his signature style, like Last Night in Soho. But I do feel like a lot of what we recognize as Edgar Wright style is actually just Scott Pilgrim style. Whether that be like from Brian Lee O'Malley, the creator of Scott Pilgrim, or just like what came to him as he made that movie or whatever. I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Another problem I had with this movie is it's way too message heavy.
Yeah, real.
And like message number one and then everything else number two, which is kind of I feel like a problem. It kind of reminds me of like the Pixar problem in recent years, where they would put the message so clearly. Like the movie I feel like that represents that the worst is Lightyear. I don't know if you remember that movie.
I didn't watch it, but I do remember Lightyear.
Okay, well, like the lesson is trying to. I don't really remember what the lesson was. I think it was like about like found family or whatever, or like not feeling guilt. But like it just the story and like everything going on was so second fiddle to like the message and what it was trying to say. And I don't know. It's just this movie. It really frustrates me because it could have been really really good. It just kind of doesn't make sense. Like the way it justifies Glenn Powell not getting offed immediately, and how they keep him around for the entirety of the movie, it just doesn't like make sense to me. I think once we meet Michael Cera's character, the movie takes such a dive in quality and entertainment value, and I don't know. I think the villains of the movie are severely underdeveloped as well. Like I wish we knew more about Coleman Domingo's character. I wish we knew more about
The Hunters.
What's his face? Oh my god! Don't even get me started on the Hunters. We know nothing about Lee Pace's character. Like Lee Pace was wasted in this movie.
100%.
We see him for 5 seconds.
Or like the CEO guy. I think it's by Josh Brolin.
Yeah, Josh Brolin. Like I just feel like a lot of that wasn't explored. I think Glenn Powell might have been miscast in this film. I feel like he doesn't play the angry person well enough.
Really?
Yeah.
I would
just
disagree
didn't
with that.
feel the aggression.
I would disagree.
You would disagree?
Yeah, I think he does. I think Glenn Powell was like really one of the only like shining parts of this movie where where I thought that like he played his character pretty well, both the angry and like the kind of softer, more like jokey tone. What I will say is that, and I feel like this is a fault of the director, of Edgar Wright, is I feel like his performance did get repetitive, and just like switching between like, oh, angry and now I'm normal and now I'm angry, and I think it just became repetitive and just boring for me. Also because his character doesn't have an arc in the film. He starts off angry and poor, and then like by the end of it, like he wins the game. Oh fuck, sorry, I didn't. You can bleep that out. You can bleep that out. By the end of it, whatever, he finishes the same way. He's still angry. But yeah, like I don't know. I just didn't. He doesn't change at all. He doesn't like. He feels like I feel like the point of the movie, or the point of the movie should have been that he starts off angry and he doesn't really know how to control his emotions, but then throughout the journey of the film he has to learn how to like maintain his anger through like all of these like trials and tribulations, and then by the end of it he feels he's like he's a changed man now. He now still has anger, but he knows how to control it. But I really feel like the beginning of the film, just he's a man that already went through therapy for his anger issues and now is just like utilizing it. So I don't really feel any sort of reason to care about what he's going through, because I know, even though I did just spoil it, like I know what's going to happen by the end of the movie. You know, he's our main character. Like nothing is surprising, nothing is new. And I'm just not really particularly interested. I was interested in his performance and like how he played it, and I thought like, yeah, he is a good action movie star, and he does play angry really well for me. I just don't care about his journey, and I think that's the fault of the writing and the directing.
Yeah, I don't know. Another problem for me is the supporting characters.
Yeah.
I feel like if they wanted this to be like a big like one-man show for Glenn Powell, that's fine, but don't introduce so many side characters. What's the lady contestant's name? I forgot what the actress's name is.
Katie M. O'Brien.
Yes, Katie O'Brien. I really like Katie O'Brien, but I feel like she always shows up for like 2 minutes in every movie she's in. She was in Christie too for like 2 minutes.
Really?
Like, she was in, wasn't she in Mission Impossible for like 2 minutes as well?
Yeah, she was in Mission Impossible. She was in Love Lies Bleeding, if you watch that. She was in Quantumania for some reason.
In which one?
In Quantumania, and also in Twisters. I don't remember her.
Yeah. I do remember her in Twisters. I don't remember her in Quantumania. But my point is that she's super underutilized, barely in the movie. What's it called? We meet a bunch of people on the journey, I guess, that he's on. Hold on, can we get into spoilers?
Sure, yeah. Let's just go into spoilers, man. I don't care.
Okay, this is your guys' spoiler warning. I think the movie really started to dip. I know I said it dips in quality when they meet Michael Cera's character, but I think it starts to dip before even that. I think it's when they go into the neighborhood and they get helped by that guy and his brother.
Yeah, no, 100%. I would agree 100%.
The conspiracy theorist. Yeah. I thought that shit was ridiculous, to be honest. That part didn't work for me, and that's when it started working for me when I think momentum completely died once we got in that car with that lady. That was ridiculous to me. I was like, why are we introducing a new character like
so late
in this third act?
Yeah.
They try to give her they try to make you care about her and give her an arc, and it doesn't work. It's throwing too much, and it's not. I don't know. It really doesn't make sense.
It's just so non-specific with every single issue it has. It's like so surface level about what it talks about, and it just also says the same thing, like, oh, I could have used money to feed my kid. It's always about my kid. It's about family. It's about this and that and the other. It's always about external circumstances. And as much as that issue is, or as much as that message is correct, especially like in today's day and age or whatever, it's just not compelling. It's not compelling as like a narrative device if it's the only thing you're banking on. If it's the only thing that's like supposed to maintain like the characters, the the audiences care for what the characters are doing. Yeah, and like you said about the characters, like they always just make them. It just always feels so stereotypical too. There's no. I don't feel like any of these characters
It feels
are real.
underbaked.
Absolutely.
It feels like the first draft of a film. It doesn't feel like a completed draft.
100%. And also, yeah, it's also just like all these coincidences as well, and the fact that all these characters like know the depth of the consequences of what could happen if they choose to help this man, if they choose to help Glenn Powell, but they still do it anyway. Without.
Yeah, I just don't buy it. It makes no sense. I don't buy it. I don't buy that the network is gonna keep him alive as long as they do, just because he's getting ratings.
Yeah.
I don't buy that. That makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have him on a plane. How much more? I don't know. I feel like the movie was just contriving reasons for him to not die.
Yeah, no, I felt that too a lot. I was like, bro.
And I hate when movies do that. I feel like that should happen naturally.
For sure. Yeah, no, there was like, especially during that hotel, when he was in the hotel, and then he like crawled onto the roof and against this giant illuminated sign, and there's just like this naked guy, our main character. I'm like, they would have seen him, they would have shot him down, they would have done so many other things than have him live right now to be able to crawl through that fucking window or break through it or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, like I can suspend my disbelief, but to a certain point, it's too much.
I can suspend my disbelief, but don't call me stupid. You know?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, no, it's honestly a mutt, and I was excited. I'm disappointed because like, yeah, I was excited for it. I thought Edgar Wright could do something with this. I think it just goes to show that like, I think he also wrote this movie, if I'm not mistaken, or like co-wrote it with other people.
I will fact check you on that. Let me see.
Yeah, I think he also wrote this, and
he co-wrote it. Yeah, Edgar Wright and Michael Bacall.
Okay, yeah, there you go. And I think it just goes to show that like Edgar Wright, he's great at visuals, because there are like some pretty great visuals. I do like the design of like the world around them, and like how it's still like pretty grounded in like what we would define as like a dystopian future in our like 2025 world. Yeah, also like there's like, you know, there's like high tech stuff about it. There was this one, I remember the beginning, like the one shot of Glenn Powell almost breaking the glass when like the office guy mentions his daughter. I was like, oh yeah, that's a pretty interesting way of like viewing things, and like that's a pretty interesting shot. Not interesting in the way that it's framed really, but just like, I guess the visual of like that glass and then like the hologram and everything. I think he's good at visuals. I think he can make a great shot and make things like kind of like flow and make them like interesting. But other than that, I think his writing is piss poor. And I think he just needs to either work with better people or just work on something that he hasn't written himself. Because
I completely agree. There's something I want to point out. What's it called? This movie, I feel like it didn't do enough to like show that it was such a distant future.
I see.
And I saw some people complaining about this online. I can't say this is too far off from where we are right now, honestly. Why? Because they have some crazy like mailboxes. Like that's the futuristic. I don't know. Like I feel like, I don't know, maybe in the next 10, 15 years, like, you know, we're pretty much here just without the killing, right? This is just pretty much a Mr. Beast game,
yeah.
a Squid Game, whatever you want to,
yeah.
you know. It's nothing we haven't,
so.
You know, it's not like a crazy concept. And so, you know, shit's getting crazy. So maybe in the next 15 years, there will be shit like that where people will go on game shows that you might actually die, but you might make hella money. You know, you never know.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
no,
like,
that was just something I was thinking about.
No,
I didn't feel like it do enough to make it seem like such a distant future.
Like, are you saying that like as a criticism, where like you felt it should have been more like sci-fi and more like crazy to make the future seem?
Yeah, because they were trying to make it seem like it was such a futuristic, like not apocalyptic, but like
dystopian.
Dystopian. That's the word I'm looking for. You know, dystopian world, and it was like not really.
I mean, I think that's
not really,
the point a little bit. Like, I think the point is to like make it kind of similar, because if I'm not mistaken, I believe the original book, it takes place in 2025. So I think that's why they made this.
Yeah,
movie
but it was
so
written in the 90s, right?
Right.
I think, I mean, at least the or not in the 90s, like in the 1900s. I think that if this movie, I just feel like this movie was trying to make it seem like really futuristic and like almost like a warning that this is where we're heading, but I feel like we're almost already there. And so I think if it wanted to make commentary on that, it should have been more commentary about how like we're very close to like. I feel like it was trying to say that like we're far from it, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd agree with that. I kind of like the fact that like it was similar or somewhat similar to like what we already have today, because I think that like it helps people kind of see like the similarities for themselves of like, oh my god, they have like whatever like weird iPhones in the future. We have also those like we're about to get those real iPhones. Like it's kind of crazy, you know what I mean? Like especially for like movies like this where the message is number one, unfortunately. Most people, a lot of audiences just like won't get it. Like won't get like, oh, this is the distant future, so like if things aren't going good right now, then we'll get this. I think it was like better, or I think it was more interesting, and I don't know, just it was a good decision to like make it similar to like what we have today, just like maybe like bump up a few little elements like the TV, like the surveillance and the mailboxes and everything like that. I also think one of the reasons that it wasn't so futuristic is because of how poor the world is, like how everyone's in poverty other than this like one little section of the city. So obviously, when everyone's going to be in poverty, like it's not going to be, they're not going to have high tech gadgets.
I know. So I guess I wish I saw more of. I guess I just saw more of the world.
I see.
I guess that's something else.
I could see that.
I wish we saw more of the world, and just so we had more of an idea. Because we really didn't get an idea of how this world kind of works. And that's just such a problem I have with movies right now. I feel like so many of them are lacking context. They're not giving enough to like help us appreciate the world that they're building.
I could see it. I agree with that. I agree with the lacking context, because I do want to know like what made it this bad. You know, why is it this bad? You know, and I was missing that aspect
like give me
too.
something. Give me something. They definitely could have like in Josh Brolin's big speech. They could have had something
for sure. But I mean, just like everything else, it was lacking writing. It was lacking good writing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's unfortunate. I think this movie could have been really special.
For sure.
But we'll see what Edgar Wright makes next, and maybe he'll his next one will be an upgrade. Who knows?
For sure. I hope it's an original concept written by somebody else, or just he like genuinely, because I feel like that's where he really shines, and like not things that have existed already, but just like something new that doesn't have the restrictions of like a book or a previous movie already released.
Yeah.
Something that's completely
is.
Yeah, or both. Exactly.
Or both.
I wanted to see something.
I do want to say I did like the Arnold on the
on the dollar
dollars,
bills,
like,
yeah,
on the money.
I thought that was funny too.
That was a cool touch.
Yeah, that was cute. That was cute.
Yeah. I don't really have anything else to say, I don't think. Do you?
No, not really. Me neither. I like Coleman Domingo's performance. I thought he was nice. I would have liked to see more of him.
Yeah, I'm always a fan of Coleman Domingo. He's one of the recent actors that I kind of got introduced to that I really like the past few years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, same. And I'm also kind of with you on. I didn't really like Michael Cera in this. Like, I thought he was just kind of more annoying, and especially with the decision that he makes, I didn't really understand it either. Like, I didn't understand why he did that.
Yeah. The whole character did not work.
The whole character, like, it just kept getting worse and worse, and I was just like, okay, like, where are we really going with this? I think he ends up dying. I don't really remember, honestly.
Yeah, he does.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, and I'm just like, it was a waste of a character because, like, I like Michael Cera as an actor. Who doesn't? It's just a damn shame. It's a damn shame.
Yeah, I feel like the movie really takes a sharp pause once we get to. I mean, even once we get before, like when we get to the the brothers.
Yeah.
Like the conspiracy theorist, but especially once we get to that part of the film, it definitely takes a big nosedive, and then everything after that with airplane and all that doesn't work
Yeah,
at
for
all.
sure.
With that being said, that brings us to the end of this week's episode. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you made it this far, you are the real MVP. We'll be back next week breaking down the new Brendan Fraser film, Rental Family. In the meantime, you can hit us up on socials at Popcorn Problems Pod and let us know what you thought of The Running Man. Don't forget to follow us, rate us 5 stars on whatever platform you're using, and DM us your hottest takes and suggestions. We'll see you next time.
Have a good one.
Peace.